Time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First down at their own 29-yard line.
Ready. 57 to Mike. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. 57.
Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They'll run. This is Darrell Henderson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Darrell Henderson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. On first down, Dupree. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Dupree. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a give, right side. Dupree. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
From the 22, Jackson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And I think the ball's out.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equanimous St. Brown. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. And this time, Jackson will throw it. Throw left side complete. It's Delgado. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
First down, New Orleans.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. 25 yards that time. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you've got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put him in a...
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mecole Hardman. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Being chased out left. He'll try and run it. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Jackson now. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Here we go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Brian Burns, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Returnable here from the 38. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Strong right. Come on, baby.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he's got this down to the 35. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll go back to Henderson on 1st down. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And his kick is absolutely perfect. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught at the 25. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Flushed out right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he's got it. touchdown, Saints. An 18-yard touchdown grab, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range. Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if. To throw is Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position. And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands. Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation. Or go 4 verticals because why not? Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission? Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there. See how that recipe works. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give right side. Dupree. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 22.
A gain of 22 yards. First down, Saints.
Let's go. You go touch.
They'll run on 1st down. Dupree. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Mike 10. Rabbit. 10's the mic. Go.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Delgado. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 42. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's make these big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
57's right. Tackle. 57.
Here's Jackson from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll bring him back within a point. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Under 10.
Here's Jackson. Eluding the... And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, 96 is coming. You know, Mike, 96. Watch the blood. 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 Chance. He's coming. We got us.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
At their own 13-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. This one brought in by Aiken. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Check 20.
Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Jackson to throw. And able to find Aiken, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Spins past him. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go play action with Jackson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
From the 36, Jackson. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
14 yards is the pickup, 1st down, New Orleans.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Jackson. Stepping up. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Check. Check out. Watch out. Kill.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dupree. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That's it. Big hit. On the set. 55. Let's go, defense.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On 2nd down, it's Henderson. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 8.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Second down and goal. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Check Mike 57. Mike 57.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So you've got to work on getting 1st downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Dupree. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now is Jackson. Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Here's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. On 1st down, Dupree, and an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Looks good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A final score now from Oakland. The Raiders have widened their lead even further. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Jackson on 1st down. To the right side to Aiken. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Jackson to throw again. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this